Couple of overnight sales to talk about. First thing from USDA. Both of them were soybeans, by the way. The first batch was 132,000 metric ton. The buyer was China. The other one was 110,000 metric ton. The buyer was Bangladesh. Let's look at the grain export inspections. This is grain that has been inspected for export out of the country. Corn was lower, 1.58 million metric ton. Sorghum was lower, 199,125 metric ton. Soybeans were lower, 327,799. And wheat was lower, 458,432. In the grain market, the futures provided by Bar Chart, well, were lower for the corn market. Things are lower all the way across the board. May down 7, December down 2.5 pennies. In the soybean market, things here are lower. May down 13.81 3/4, down 21 1/4. Got as low as 13.79 1/2. November is down 14 1/4 cents. The wheat market for Chicago was lower. Now July is down 10 1/4 at 6.30 1/4. The Kansas City market is down 6 1/4 at 5.88, 4 cents off of the low. And Minneapolis wheat for July is down 11 cents at 6.50 1/4. And the cotton market today is lower, with May down 175, the December down 92. Well, let's check in now with Todd Horowitz. He's with Bubba Trading, and he joins us now live right here. Todd, it just seems to be a sell-off mentality in the, at least in the grain commodities anyway today.
Monday, John. Good morning. It's just another Monday, another sell-off on a Monday, and you know, we'll see. I mean, things still look very good. The markets look solid, but certainly, obviously, very depressing at the moment as we just continue to go lower. Now it appears we may have found the bottoms for today, and we could start to see some, movement back towards the flat line, but it looks like it's a pretty ugly day, pretty much across the board in the entire commodity space everywhere. So I think this is one of those, people are just selling right now, and but I don't think there's been a lot of damage done to the markets. I think that we will continue to look for opportunities to buy and use this just as another opportunity to step in and buy more.
Do you still feel like that by the time we get to the end of the season, that everything's going to be tight enough, and the fund managers are going to be looking for places to put their money in opposite of inflation, that this market still has quite a bit of headroom to it?
I do think there's a lot of room to go to the upside. I do believe that we're going to see a continuation of the rallies that have begun. Remember, if you take a look at where we started and where we are now, it looks pretty good. It's just in recent, you get used to higher prices and suddenly we get some pullbacks. I think we're in really good shape for the moment. And, again, that pattern can change. But for now, I see no reason to believe that we aren't going anywhere but higher over the next, weeks, months, and who knows how long.
Okay. Well, when we come back from the break, I want to get your thoughts on the livestock trade. And then you and I always seem to talk about the financials and what's going on in the economy. I would like to get your thoughts on that as well, because that does play in especially to the livestock markets. We'll do that next. Stay with us. Todd Bubba Horowitz joins us on the other side of the break here on the Market Day Report. So far today, we've seen some mixed action over here in the livestock trade. And let's go back over here to Todd Horowitz. And Todd, first of all, I want to talk a little bit about the economy. You and I were talking there during the break. What are things like? I know that you've been doing quite a bit of traveling lately. What have you seen? What are you hearing? Is this economy starting to warm up again?
Oh, John, I think definitely it's starting to warm up again. I mean, obviously we're getting a lot of jobs back. They look like they're new jobs, but they're jobs. People are going back to work. But, it's interesting. I went out the other night and I went by Old Orchard Shopping Mall in Skokie, Illinois, packed. You couldn't find a parking space anywhere, which means people want to get out. Restaurants, although still not at full capacity, are full, reservations well in advance. So I think we're seeing a dramatic change. The airplanes were packed. The airports were packed. So, it seems to me that we're getting past on the other side of the virus, and there's obviously we still take care and we still have the social distancing, but it can only lead to better things going forward, which is, again, why I believe that the commodity space in general will really start to percolate here, especially when we start to get more demand. And it looks like we might have some weather issues this year, which could create even higher prices.
Now, you speak to that demand. I saw the same thing. The airports that I saw over the weekend when I was traveling, just completely full with people. But this should bode well for the protein complex. It's really done relatively well here over the last month or so even.
Yeah, and I think so. And I think, look, we're seeing some selling pressure today, and certainly in fats. Feeders are a little bit higher last I saw. But I think, again, you're going to see we're coming right into season, grilling season. People are dying to get together. You're going to have a lot of barbecues this summer. You're going to have a lot more demand. And as I've said many, many times, you know, even though we still eat pretty much the same amount of food, people buy always the same amount of groceries. You now put them out in the restaurants, that creates more demand. And I think we're going to see that. Look, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be immediate, but I think it's going to be solid and it looks great. And I would not at all be concerned about owning here and looking for higher prices.
All right, Todd, always a pleasure. Thank you very much. Have a good afternoon. We'll talk to you again on Wednesday. Over in the futures market right now on these futures provided by Bar Chart, we've got April live cattle down 32, all front 5 contracts down anywhere from 12 to as much as 45 cents. April feeders down 40, but the May is up 7 and the August is up 35. And the hog market here today has been kind of mixed, and now we're down. May is down 92, the June is down 152, and the July down 127, Christina.